The city was shrouded in darkness, the only sound being the distant hum of a lone hovercar patrolling the streets. Rostova and Ben stood atop a skyscraper, gazing out over the vast metropolis. They had been working tirelessly for weeks, following every lead, every hint, every rumor that might bring them closer to their goal. "We have to be careful," Ben said. "The organization has eyes and ears everywhere. They will stop at nothing to keep their secrets safe." "I know," Rostova replied, "but we have to take the risk. We owe it to ourselves, to the people who have been hurt by this organization." Ben nodded, his eyes scanning the rooftops, searching for any sign of danger. They had identified the government official involved, a man named Senator Adair, and now they were working to gather evidence to expose him. "It won't be easy," Ben said. "Adair has a reputation for being ruthless. He will do whatever it takes to keep his secrets safe." Rostova smiled, a determined look on her face. "We have come too far to turn back now. We have to see this through." As they stood there, the wind whipping through their hair, they could feel the pressure mounting. They were in a race against time, and they knew it. The organization would stop at nothing to keep their secrets safe, and Rostova and Ben were the only ones standing in their way. "We need to get moving," Ben said. "We have a meeting with a source who claims to have information about Adair." Rostova nodded, and together they made their way down from the rooftop, disappearing into the shadows of the city. They moved quickly, their senses on high alert, always looking over their shoulders, waiting for the other shoe to drop. As they walked, the city seemed to grow darker, the shadows deepening, the silence more oppressive. Rostova and Ben knew they were getting close to the truth, and they could feel the danger lurking, waiting to pounce. "We are running out of time," Rostova said. "We have to move fast before Adair realizes what is happening." Ben nodded, his hand on the gun at his side. "We will get him, Rostova. We will bring him down." Rostova smiled, a fierce glint in her eye. "Together, we can do anything." The city seemed to stretch out before them, a vast, dark landscape full of hidden dangers and unexpected surprises. But Rostova and Ben were ready. They were prepared to face whatever lay ahead, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goal. They turned a corner, and a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a woman, tall and imposing, with a look of determination on her face. "My name is Maya," she said. "I have information about Senator Adair, information that could bring him down." Rostova and Ben exchanged a look, their hearts racing with excitement. They knew they were getting close. They could feel it. And they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, ready to take on the organization and bring them to their knees. Maya led them to a small cafe on the outskirts of the city, a place that seemed to be forgotten by time. The interior was dimly lit, the air thick with the smell of old coffee and stale air. Rostova and Ben followed Maya, their eyes scanning the room, searching for any signs of danger. "We can talk here," Maya said. "This place is safe for now." Rostova and Ben sat down, their backs to the wall, their eyes fixed on Maya. She pulled out a small device, a data pad, and began to scroll through the information. "I used to work for Adair," Maya said. "I was one of his assistants, but I discovered something that made me realize I had to get out." "What did you discover?" Rostova asked. "What made you leave Adair's side?" Maya hesitated, her eyes darting around the room. "I found a document, a secret file that revealed Adair's involvement with the organization. He is one of the key players, one of the men who is pulling the strings." Ben's eyes narrowed, his grip on his gun tightening. "We need that document, Maya. Can you get it for us?" Maya nodded, a look of determination on her face. "I can try, but it won't be easy. Adair has the file locked away in a secure location. I will need your help to get it." Rostova smiled, a plan forming in her mind. "We can help you, Maya. We can get that document and bring Adair down." The three of them sat in silence for a moment, their minds racing with the possibilities. They knew the risks, they knew the danger, but they were ready. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead, to take on the organization and bring them to their knees. "We need to move fast," Ben said. "Adair could realize what is happening at any moment, and when he does, he will stop at nothing to silence us." Maya nodded, her eyes locked on Rostova and Ben. "I know a way into Adair's office, a way that will give us access to the document, but we have to be careful, we have to be quick." Rostova stood up, a fierce look in her eye. "Let's do it. Let's get that document and bring Adair down." The three of them left the cafe, disappearing into the night, ready to face whatever lay ahead. They moved quickly, their senses on high alert, their hearts racing with excitement. They were getting close, they could feel it, and they were ready to take on the organization and win. As they walked, the city seemed to grow darker, the shadows deepening, the silence more oppressive. Rostova, Ben, and Maya knew they were taking a risk. They knew the danger was real, but they were ready. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead to take on the organization and bring them to their knees. They turned a corner and Adair's office building loomed before them, a towering skyscraper that seemed to touch the sky. Rostova, Ben, and Maya exchanged a look, their hearts racing with excitement. They knew what they had to do, they knew the risks, but they were ready. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead to take on the organization and win. "Let's do it," Rostova said. "Let's get that document and bring Adair down." Ben nodded, his hand on the gun at his side. "We are in this together, we will see it through." Maya smiled, a look of determination on her face. "We can do this. We can bring Adair down and expose the organization for what it is." The three of them took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. They were in this together, they were a team, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goal. "What do you know about Adair?" Rostova asked. "We need to know everything, every detail, every secret." Maya nodded, a look of fear in her eyes. "I used to work for Adair. I was one of his assistants, but I realized what he was doing, and I knew I had to get out." "What was he doing?" Ben asked. "What kind of activities was he involved in?" Maya took a deep breath, her voice barely above a whisper. "He was involved in a massive conspiracy, a conspiracy that goes all the way to the top. He was working with the organization, taking bribes and doing their bidding." Rostova's eyes narrowed, her mind racing with the implications. "We need proof, we need something concrete to take to the authorities." Maya nodded, a small smile on her face. "I have proof, I have documents, recordings, everything we need to bring him down." Ben's eyes lit up with excitement. "Where are they? We need to get them now." Maya hesitated, a look of fear in her eyes. "I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust anyone." Rostova stepped forward, her voice calm and reassuring. "We are the only ones who can help you. We are the only ones who can bring Adair down. You have to trust us." Maya looked at Rostova, then at Ben, and nodded. "Okay, I will give you the proof, but you have to promise me one thing." "What is that?" Rostova asked. "We will do whatever it takes to keep you safe." Maya's voice was barely above a whisper. "You have to promise me that you will take down the organization. You have to promise me that you will stop them, no matter what it takes." Ben and Rostova exchanged a look and nodded. "We promise. We will take them down, no matter what it takes." Maya nodded, a look of determination on her face. "Then I will give you the proof, and we can bring Adair down together." As they stood there, the city seemed to grow quieter, the shadows deepening, the silence more oppressive. Rostova and Ben knew they were getting close. They could feel it, and they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, ready to take on the organization and bring them to their knees. Maya handed Rostova a small data disk. "This contains all the proof we need, documents, recordings, everything." Rostova took the disk, her eyes scanning the surrounding area. She knew they were not safe. "Not yet. We need to get out of here. We need to get to a safe place." Ben nodded, his hand on the gun at his side. "I know a place where we can be safe, at least for a while." Maya nodded, a look of determination on her face. "I will come with you. I will help you take down Adair and the organization." Rostova and Ben exchanged a look and nodded together. "We can do this together. We can bring them down." As they turned to leave, a loud noise echoed through the streets. The sound of hovercars and sirens. Rostova and Ben knew they were in trouble. They knew they had been found, and they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, ready to take on the organization and bring them to their knees. Maya led them to a small, nondescript building on the outskirts of the city. They entered a dimly lit room, the air thick with tension. Maya began to speak, her voice low and urgent. "I used to work for Senator Adair. She said I was one of his aides, but I discovered something that made me realize I had to get out." "What did you discover?" Rostova asked. "What makes you think you can bring him down?" Maya hesitated, glancing around the room nervously. "I found documents that prove Adair's involvement with the organization. They detail a plan to manipulate the government, to gain control over the entire city." Ben's eyes narrowed, his grip on his gun tightening. "We need to see those documents. We need to know what we're up against." Maya nodded, pulling out a small data pad from her pocket. "I have everything right here. But we have to be careful. Adair will stop at nothing to keep this quiet." Rostova took the data pad, her eyes scanning the documents quickly. "This is it. This is the evidence we need. We can bring him down. We can expose the organization." Ben smiled, a fierce glint in his eye. "It's time to take the fight to them. We'll go to the press. We'll make sure the whole city knows what's going on." Maya nodded, a look of determination on her face. "I'm with you. I'll help you in any way I can." Together, the three of them made their way to the press conference, the documents in hand. They were met with a flurry of cameras and reporters, all clamoring for a story. Rostova stepped forward, her voice clear and confident. "We have evidence of a government official's involvement with a corrupt organization. We have documents that prove Senator Adair's guilt. The room erupted into chaos, reporters shouting questions, cameras flashing. Ben and Maya stood behind Rostova, their faces set, their eyes scanning the crowd. Senator Adair appeared, his face red with rage. "This is a lie, a vicious smear campaign. I demand that you retract these allegations." Rostova smiled, her eyes locked on Adair. "We have the evidence, we have the proof. You can't deny it, Senator." The press conference continued, the questions and answers flying back and forth. But Rostova and Ben knew they had won. They had exposed the organization and brought Senator Adair to his knees. As they left the conference room, Maya turned to them, a look of gratitude on her face. "Thank you. Thank you for giving me the courage to come forward." Rostova smiled, her hand on Maya's shoulder. "You're safe now, you're free." Ben nodded, his eyes scanning the crowd. "We're not done yet. We still have to take down the organization. But we've made a start, we've taken the first step." Rostova's eyes locked on Ben's, a fierce glint in her eye. "We'll see this through together. We'll bring them down, no matter what it takes." The city seemed to stretch out before them, a vast, dark landscape, full of hidden dangers and unexpected surprises. But Rostova and Ben were ready. They were prepared to face whatever lay ahead, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goal. As they walked away from the conference room, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a woman, her face familiar, her eyes locked on Rostova. "You may have won this battle," she said, "but the war is far from over. The organization will rise again, and next time you won't be so lucky." Rostova's eyes narrowed, her hand on her gun. "We'll be ready. We'll be waiting." The woman smiled, her eyes glinting with amusement. "I'm looking forward to it." And with that, she turned and disappeared into the crowd, leaving Rostova and Ben to wonder what lay ahead and what the future held for them.